Good afternoon, and welcome to this week's Family Ministry Moment. I really love the story of the prodigal son found in Scripture. Some of you probably know it. It's the story where this dad has two sons, and one of them, the youngest of the sons, wants his inheritance early and then takes it, runs off, squanders it, wastes it, and then eventually realizes the error of his ways, comes back. But what happens when he comes back is interesting. Dad celebrates the return of his son. He doesn't reprimand him, he doesn't yell at him. He's just happy his son's back. You know what's interesting? I love that in the scriptures there's this moment of celebration. And there's this joy that happens when the father's reunited with his son. Because his dad is just so excited that his son has learned, has come back, and is in his arms again. At the end of the day, we are just excited that our kids are with us and they have their life's moments with us. And no matter what they do, whether they do good or bad or what's going on, we still love them, right? That son really wronged his dad, and yet dad still loved them. This has been a season over the last few weeks really for me, just celebrating a lot of graduations, a lot of times with students. Just spent the last couple of days with graduations from the Renaissance schools and went to a couple other graduations. And it was just really cool celebrating with the students and seeing their moms and dads just elated, just excited about what their kids have accomplished and what they've done. And it's been so cool to watch these students just accomplish great things. And I want to encourage you. I don't know if you celebrate at home or not, whether you're a celebrating kind of family. I know my family takes any excuse to celebrate. We love doing that. I know my parents, even when they're traveling, will recognize me and my sisters and my nieces and nephews' birthdays, and even my the grandkids, my daughter's birthday. They recognize them. They'll have a cupcake in their honor, like any excuse to celebrate, right? And I love that. I think celebration is such an important thing. I think we don't do it enough as a people. I love being able to get together with people and celebrate. And I don't think we as people do that enough. There's so much sadness and just frustration happening in our world all the time. And I think there's so many reasons for us to celebrate. And whether it's a birthday, an anniversary, big milestones like that, those are great. Whether you're a son or daughter, niece, nephew, grandkid is graduating from any grade, that's a great thing. I was speaking to a parent during this season where they were really disappointed that their kid is not moving on to the next grade. And that was super upsetting for them. And I can get that. That sounds like a really difficult thing. And I'm not a kid, and I was never, fortunately, I was never held back. And I don't know what that feels like. But I do know some students who've gone through that. And, the only advice I could give to that parent was something simple. Stop and recognize that your kid did the best that they could. Or you know what? Maybe they didn't. Maybe there's something else going on in their life. What else in their life can you celebrate with them? How can you motivate them to continue doing this thing called life, even though life comes with a ton of failures? Even as a church community, we have our struggles and our setbacks. We've made no secret of that, even within our own church and the people that we have. Yet, we continue to celebrate. We had 11 students who went through confirmation and became mentors of our church. 3 of them were baptized. That's amazing. We've had countless more families join us over the last couple of years. We actually, we shared it at some of our board meetings, and some of you all be hearing about that soon. That our attendance in our church has been going up, and those are all things to celebrate. And we can moan and complain about the stuff that we're all going through that just isn't fun. But at the end of the day, there are things we can celebrate. It is gorgeous out. Yeah, it's hot, but it's still beautiful, right? We can take time to celebrate that the summer is here, the kids will be off of school, and we get to have some fun. Yeah, I know for some parents, it's a bit of a drain because now you got to figure out how to entertain your kids. You got to spend money for summer camp and daycare and all this stuff. But you know what? At least we get to have some time off, celebrate with our families together, and have some fun. My encouragement to you this week, as I've watched so many families, so many people celebrate over the last couple weeks, with the accomplishments of their kids, have you stopped to take a moment to celebrate with your family all the things that are going on in your family? I'm sure there are some fun things that y'all have been probably avoiding. Maybe there's just minor things. Maybe you finished painting your house. Maybe you finished a different home project. Maybe your kid did graduate or pass a grade. Maybe you landed a new job. Maybe you just moved. Whatever it could be, have you stopped to celebrate as a family? Those joyous moments bring us together as a group. You know, we love celebrating even within our youth groups and our kids groups. We love recognizing our kids' birthdays and times we have together, because when we can stop and celebrate one another, we grow closer together. I encourage you to do that as a family. Celebrate together and grow closer together. There is countless scripture to support that when we celebrate together, we grow together, we fellowship together, we have fun together. We do a ton of that here at church. I hope I can catch y'all on church on Sunday morning. We do have youth group at 4 o'clock, and we're going to be having some fun times. Youth group has been extended. It's now 30 minutes later. It's 4 to 6:30, and it would be great to have our middle school and high school students gather together to have some fun this Sunday. And then we'll be kicking off our summer calendar right after that. So I hope that you all having a wonderful season. I hope to catch you all this summer as you're around, and especially hope to see you this Sunday. This is Manu, enjoying this beautiful day. See you at church on Sunday.